let's assume that you're an investor and you're investing your money into this company A. And company A makes $1 million a year in revenue, and they are left with $200,000 a year after their expenses, meaning they have $200,000 a year in profits. But if you dig a little bit deeper into company A, what you see is that they have two different divisions. They have division 1 right here, and then division 2 right here. Two very different divisions. However, division 2 makes up 80% of the revenue, and division 1 makes up 20% of the revenue. And then if you dig a little bit deeper, what you see is that division 1 has half of the employees and half of the expenses. So this is 20% of the revenue, but 50% of the expenses. And division 2 is also 50% of the expenses. So now if you are an investor, you're looking at this saying, division 2 is bringing in most of the revenue, and it has the same number of employees, the same amount of cost, the same expenses as division 1, which is bringing in just 20% of the revenue. So you're spending, if you have $800,000 a year in expenses, $400,000 of expenses here, $400,000 worth of expenses here. You're spending $400,000 here to bring in 20% of the revenue, but that same $400,000 of expenses here is bringing in 80% of the revenue. Now you as the investor are seeing this and saying, we got to do something here, because you don't get paid a salary, you get paid based off of the profit as the owner, right? You're getting a profit share, you have the valuation of the company, the bigger the profits, the more the company's worth, so you want to have bigger profits. So you might say, you know what, we need to let go of the people here, we need to get rid of this division, that way we can focus here. Because if you were to fire everybody here and you were to shut down division 1, well now all of a sudden you have increased the amount of profits that you have in the company, because now you have $400,000 worth of expenses and only 80% of the revenue, which is $800,000. Which means if you get rid of division 1, which is this money pit, you will now have $400,000 a year in profits, because now you got rid of the money sucking division. You got rid of the things that were not working. And so this now is the mindset of an investor, where now you are trying to find out the most efficiencies, the most productiveness, and you want to have the best allocation of your capital. You want to put your money to use in the best place that's going to give you the biggest return. If you're investing in a company in the stock market, if you're investing in startups, if you're investing in real estate, if you're trying to build a company, you want to see an increase in your profits and you want to see a growth in your valuation. But now let's flip things up just a little bit. And let's assume now that you are not an investor in company A, and rather you are a worker in company A. And a little bit more specifically, let's assume that you work right here in division 1. And so now you're working every single day to get a paycheck, you're doing whatever the job requires, and you think you're doing a good job. And then all of a sudden, one day, you go to work, and then you found out that you're getting fired. Now, your smile is going to go from this smile to a big frown. Why? Because you were relying on this paycheck. You didn't really have much risk besides the job being lost, because now you don't have to invest any money, you don't have to go into debt to build the company, you don't have any personal loans to build the company, but you were relying on your paycheck to live your life. And now what happens? Well, this paycheck just went away. And now you have to go out and find another job, hopefully soon, because you have expenses to pay, you got your mortgage or your rent, you got your car payment, you got your kids to feed, you got to pay for everything else. And now you're the one that's struck, and now you're hating the company because you're saying, why would you let me go? The company was mismanaged, it wasn't run well, and now you're out trying to figure out why the system keeps trying to screw you over. And this is where now you have to think a little bit different and understand where school lacks. School teaches you to be an employee. Now this could be any type of employee. It could be a manufacturer, this could be an accountant, this could be an executive. I mean, this works along the whole spectrum of employees. School teaches you to be an employee. It teaches you to be a worker in a company. Now, there's nothing wrong with being an employee, but you have to understand how the system works and what school teaches us, because there's a difference from just being an employee to being an owner in a company. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.